How's it going, everybody? We got some big changes that were made to how scoring is being calculated in Battle World, but there's some big implications here, and unlocking the further difficulties is kind of in question. We got to talk about that in this video. We have other things to talk about that they just kind of announced randomly that are actually kind of exciting, so I figure we'll start with that, because a little bit of sugar, and then we'll get into a little bit of salt, but at the end of the day, I think it's not actually a bad thing. I think it's okay for it to be like this in a certain regard. But we'll talk about all the implications that it's going to come down to it. Before we do that, though, let's talk about the Cosmic Crucible Season 12 is close at hand. And they're going to let us vote on Room 6. So starting off with some special thanks to your official envoys for providing some great room rule suggestions. This time, we're handing over the power of the final say to our community. I think this is great. Community polls are awesome. Having the community kind of pick.
Oh, dorky.
I should turn my trigger fires off. Having the community pick which rooms are going to be in the gameplay, I think is really, really good, and it's just healthy and fun for everybody. So, we need the help of our esteemed commanders to choose the rules for
You're
next...
a silly goose. You're a silly goose.
We're going to pause this
You're
video,
a silly goose.
and I'm going to go punish my chat. I will be right back. All right, the kids are put on timeout, and now we're going to continue. So we're going to get to vote on which rules we want to do. So we got Room 6 polarized. On defense and offense, hero characters will spawn with Safeguard, Immunity, Defense up. This is the Infinity Watch effect. This is the same thing that the Updog room is currently doing, but only to heroes. Villain characters would, on ultimate ability, apply Trauma, Disrupted, and Defense down to primary target. I hate this room. This room does not sound fun to me. I just don't like anything about it. I don't like that it's going to give Infinity Watch buff to heroes. So that's like Illuminati, Black Knight, that sort of thing. And the villain characters, it seems so underwhelming compared to the hero proportion of it that I just don't like it at all. But let me know what you guys think about that one. And then the next one is Symbiote Satisfaction. So on defense and offense, hero symbiote characters count as villains. I like that. Drop to 50% life, all enemies flip negative effects to positive effects, and all allies flip their positive effects into negative effects. So that's the Warp World Scourge Pact. So I'm about to sneeze. Video is super scuffed. I like that. Okay, I really like the impactful packs and scourges of old, and this is definitely one of those. I think I really prefer the Symbiote Satisfaction. I like the idea of, like, Void Knight now being able to be used with, say, Cabal, right? He's going to AoE, he gets speed bar on spawns, he's like another fast character. I like that. I think I much prefer the Symbiote Satisfaction room. I think Warp World will be fun to play into. It's definitely going to be chaotic. I think Room 6 is just too restrictive on everything. Not a super fan. But I am a super fan of Ben Strauss. What room y'all voting for? Updog designed the Symbiote room, and I designed the polarized. I enjoy Chaos Level Commanders. I sort of wish they gave a reward for voting, though. Oh, I guess we're not getting cores or anything? That's too bad. Shout out to Bendable and Updog for those room suggestions. I like them both. I don't like the polarized room, but I like Bendable Strauss. All right, so that's going to be it for that. Now let's talk about the crux of this video, and that's going to be this Reddit post right here. So VP changed to Null Boss. We've increased the amount of victory points you can earn on the final day Null boss fight of Battle World, and this will be reflected in-game later today. This will scale based on what difficulty you have chosen. Please keep in mind that these numbers could change again at a later date as we continue to monitor Alliance progress. So, if you didn't know, we talked about it in a video I think yesterday or the day before, it was actually impossible to unlock difficulty 5 unless you beat Null 170 times. So they greatly increased the amount of points Null is worth. Here's the current breakdown. Again, this is a chart. I don't know if this is from Pathfinder. It was shared with me by somebody in my Discord. So this is your points breakdown for difficulty 4 of Battle World, okay? So if 24 Alliance mates, I should say, complete all of their nodes, every single node, every single day, you get 3.8 million points. If you 100 complete Spec Ops, it's a very measly 26,000 points. This is a good thing, because any mid-game alliance struggles so much with Spec Ops. I know today, my mid-game alliance can do everything but one. I think tomorrow we can only do 2 Spec Ops. So I actually am really thankful Spec Ops is pretty meaningless in the victory point department and just for events, although I do hope they fix up how it interacts with events soon. So I'm glad that's a small number. The bonus mission, this is that Odin Asgard mission. Actually, if 24 people get it done, That's 360,000 points. This is going to be very important to remember this. I don't know about you guys. In my mid-game alliance, we don't have 24 Odins. We have one. I think one. Our other Odin just left. So we have one Odin. All right? And here's where it starts to become more important. Null percentile damage. So like every percent of Null's life, 1% of 225,000. That's the victory points you get for every percent of Null you do. If you kill Null 100%, you will get 225,000 plus an additional 225,000 bonus points. We need 6.5 million points to get it done. What this means, this chart is just a fancy way of showing you how many times you're going to have to kill Null to get this done, okay? You are going to have to kill Null if you 100% missions, 100% spec ops, 100% the bonus mission. You're going to have to kill Null 5.5 times to get that done. I don't know if that's going to be possible, right? I just don't know how Null difficulty 4 will interact, because Null difficulty 3 hits so much harder than the normal difficulty, right? Which makes sense. It should. It's not as big a jump from D3 to D4 as it was from normal to D3. So I don't think it's going to be that much different. The question becomes, how can we kill Null 5.5 times? But more realistically, how can we kill Null 6.5 times? Because if 5.5 times is only going to be getting you just past it here, right? I kind of expect not a lot of alliances are going to be doing 100% of the bonus mission or 100% of spec ops. And that doesn't take into account if you have an alliance mate that misses a day. If you miss a day, you're missing about 150,000 points, which is crazy, right? So the window for error here is very small. I think of a lot of alliances should be trying, if you're trying to push from D4 to D5, I know a lot of alliances are now pushing from D3 to D4 because they had what we're about to talk about happen to them. I think most alliances should be trying to budget in 8 Null kills. At least 7.5, 8 Null kills. That's what I think we should be going for. Which is super unfortunate, because I don't know if you guys have looked in game. We're in game live here now. This is difficulty 4. This is my baby account, right? So let me go into the villain global section, and let me just do an attack. Cabal is the featured team, if you will. I'll throw my Cabal team up, and we'll watch the gameplay together. I'll just do like this, okay. Let's just check out what the gameplay is like on difficulty 4. I have, my account is just now over a year old. I do have Mephisto, I don't have Odin. I would consider myself early endgame. Like, I do not have a war defense. I don't really have a Crucible defense, but I have all the offensive stuff, okay? This is what players will have to continue to do if they're in, like, the mid-game position and they can't kill Null those 5 times. This is the sort of gameplay we're going to be able to enjoy for the foreseeable future. Let's skip all this stuff. Come on, skip it. And let's be honest here, and it doesn't even matter how big my characters are just going to one-shot everything, right? This is the gameplay, right? It doesn't even matter if you don't have your characters as big as I do, because the room bonuses, if my characters, honestly, I could probably shave off 10 levels and 2 gear tiers, and it would still be one-shotting everything across the board. Because the bonuses are just that silly. They're just so powerful, right? The managerial side of getting from difficulty even 3 to 4 and now from 4 to 5 is tough. And if you fail that check, you end up with this sort of gameplay, which is super unfortunate. But it goes a little bit further than even this. So I'm just going to back out. I'll come back in and do this later. We don't want to have to sit here for another 2 minutes just to watch this play out. It's like 4 minutes per node, 4 nodes a day. It gets a little tedious. What is actually going to weigh the most on a lot of mid-game alliances, especially with a lot of free-to-play players, is going to be the Astral Pegasus node, right? I don't know about you guys. My free-to-play account does not have Ancient One or Emma Frost unlocked. So this Astral Pegasus mission, which is worth 12,000 as opposed to this, is now so much more important than ever before. I need 24 of my alliance mates to basically be crushing this node. And I see a lot of people get it done. I have a couple people that they didn't quite get it all the way done. This is going to really hurt us. Like 5,000 points shaved off here. And I do not fault these guys because they don't have the Astral members built up, right? I Don't fault them, but we're going to have to do a lot of makeup because of that. So that's a little annoying, right? It's a little annoying. Let's go in here and let's do the actual gameplay now. I do have 2 Astral members, and this I think is going to be what I think everyone's biggest takeaway should be if you're a free-to-play player, is you really want to get your Doctor Strange and your Moondragon built up as fast as possible. This node is going to feel just as stupid easy as the last one, except for one moment of, oh shit, what do we do? Okay? So I want to play that out with you guys here because I do think it's going to be important to get as many points as possible. And then I'll talk about null killing teams because I do think you're going to want a lot of null kills. My Baby Alliance killed null, I think, 11 times on difficulty 3. I'm very concerned we're not going to be able to kill him, 8 times on difficulty 4. But we'll see. We'll see with the new damage cap how things are going to go, I guess. So these opening waves, if you have just these 2 Astral characters, you don't really need to worry about it whatsoever. If these guys die, Doctor Strange is going to bring it back. Absolutely no problem, right? If the game breaks and you DC, at least you don't lose attempts. Okay. So you just kind of, you eat all the damage as it goes, and then you really just kind of basic your way through a lot of the node. Hopefully you'll also have a big cash roll from maybe Dark Dimension 7 or whatever the case may be there, right? We also really want to bring Darkhawk because we do want that energy generation. I'll use abilities from my Pegasus members, but I will not use abilities from my Astral members. We really need to save this for a particular moment in time on this node. So that was the first wave, no problem there, right? I don't mind using Wong abilities either. He'll get them back up. Kestrel can use her special here. That's going to kill a bunch of people. And then again, we start doing basics. Darkhawk will feed energy, so my Kestrel can keep kind of spamming that. Once you have the Ancient One, then you don't have to worry about this as much, but again, that's not really a free-to-play available character just yet, right? This is where a lot of people are tempted, if you're in the situation I'm in, to use like your Doctor Strange special because it's unavoidable and it will get the kill. Don't. Use your Doctor Strange basic. It's also unavoidable. You probably don't get the kill. Maybe your Pegasus members die here, and this is where your Doctor Strange can kind of bring them all back. You do not want to use your abilities on the Astral members. You have to wait. Have to wait, especially on day 2 and day 4. Alright, so Kestrel is back up. Let's go ahead and erase these 3. And in a perfect world, what's going to happen is I'll have Doctor Strange about to take a turn right when the next wave drops in. I'm looking at my speed bars right now, and I am in a bad position. I'm in a very bad position, right? Doctor Strange is going to take the next turn, and then it'll be here, and Doctor Strange will have really low turn bar. And we're going to be walking into, I think it's Old Man Logan next. So I want to stall. I'm going to go ahead and use the special here because I do not want to put a defense down. I'm even going to use the revive here because I don't want Doctor Strange to get a kill. Alright, I'll use the ultimate from Kestrel because I don't want to kill both in one shot. I want Doctor Strange to build up a little bit more speed bar. What does the least damage here? We got 250, 300, 340. So let's just do the basic. And now Doctor Strange, his speed bar will go up a little bit more. There we go, and now I can kill him. So now, here we go, because look, we do have the dodge here, right? Moondragon can also get this done if I use the special. It tries to clear positive effects first. Old Man Logan will dodge that, and then the damage will come in. So having both Astral members is super important, because they can actually do the damage. You see, he still dodged it there, though. This might be a reset if Doctor Strange can't one-shot him. Doctor Strange is going to go before Old Man Logan, so I just don't want to hit Old Man Logan no matter what here. It doesn't matter how big your Kestrel is. Your Doctor Strange is going to do infinitely more damage. Alright, so here we go. Boom. And there we go. I'm good now. I'm good, right? Like, my Doctor Strange and my Moondragon will sustain through this, and I should be able to kill these guys regardless of what happens, even though this is like a war room, whatever, right? So that's what you really want to do to make sure you can get through this node. You don't need the spending Astral characters, but you damn sure need the reworked Astral members. That unavoidable attacks that Doctor Strange has are insanely important. Insanely important. Hopefully that helps you. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about some null killing teams that we found from last week. But we got to talk about some caveats. I'm not sure if they're going to work the same. All right, so here we are in game. Now there's going to be 2 different team suggestions for people, right? Like, as you can see here, in my mid-game account, the account that is not a year old, I do not have Omega Red or Adam Warlock built. This was the team that did the absolute best on difficulty 3. And when I say the best, I mean it killed like 75% of Null's health. We don't know if that's going to be the case for difficulty 4. Difficulty 4 could hit just so much harder that characters like Adam Warlock or Omega Red, if they take a hit, they're just donezo. That could happen, right? We also don't know if they sealed the hole on the bleed snafu that's happened. I don't think bleeds are interacting the way they want them to. I hope they didn't fix it, because it was actually really fun the way it was. But this is probably still going to be your absolute best team, I think, if bleeds are broken the way I assume they're broken. The next best team for you spenders is going to be your Full Astral. I know a lot of people are hating on it. I still think Full Astral is going to be the best team on difficulty 5 and probably the third or second best team on difficulty 4. With all their percentage life steal, or percentage life damage, and their sustainability, I do think they're going to pull out a pretty hefty score. You got to remember, they are being kneecapped by the damage cap right now. The damage cap on difficulty 3 was 1 million. The damage on difficulty 4, I believe, is 2.4 million. The damage on difficulty 5 is 4 million. So unless bleeds, which I think they are scaling based on Null's damage, I do think max health will win in the end. But if the bleeds are scaling off Null's health, the bleed team will always be better. I don't know if people should rush to invest in these guys just yet. So that would be like my suggestions for the super endgame people. And this was actually the third team that I used. I used Nightcrawler instead of Lady Deathstrike here, so I guess you could do that. Nightcrawler here was really good because he does like flips that turn into bleeds. His special does bleeds. He gives speed bar. And he does slow to Null in the opening matches, which was really nice. So I do like Nightcrawler here, and that's probably going to be my 3 teams on my main account. I have no concern about Onslaught not making it. First of all, we're going to be acing every single node, including the bonus node, and we all have these characters built up. So I'm pretty sure we're going to clear Null, 15 plus times. On my baby account, though, I will be editing this, and I will be using Lady District here. Lady District has bleeds. I saw her do really good damage, and she helped put defense down out there, which is nice as well. These are going to be the 3 teams that I use on my baby account. This team was my second best team last week, throwing up, I believe, 80 million damage, which was really freaking good, all things considering. We got Barrier Clear on Gladiator, Barrier Clear on Apocalypse Ultimate, and Barrier Clear on the special from Red Hulk. And we got so many bleeds, right? So we got a nice taunt from Gladiator. All of these characters do bleeds in various ways. Thanos, you just spam basic. Red Hulk, you do have to reset until he gets his ultimate off, right? He's got to get hit 5 times without dying. And then he goes ahead and he does his ultimate, and Null, the damage Null takes from that battlefield effect is not to be underestimated. It's really nice. This was a team that was doing one of the best amounts of damage until the bleed team was found out up here. And this is going to be your extreme Old Man Logan. Once again, we got a lot of bleeds, right? Bleeds from Gambit, bleeds from Nightcrawler, bleeds from Sunfire and Old Man Logan. So lots of bleeds and the sustainability of Forge. This is a really, really powerful team. Fortunately, I think a lot of people have this team built up. This might be most people's main team who don't have Omega Red and Adam Warlock built up and are too hesitant to pull the trigger on that yet. And then the third team, at least for me, I'm going to try this out, is going to be Black Knight, because he does this barrier break. We need that barrier break. We have some percentage life damage. We have Mephisto for bleeds and tank ability, that kind of stuff. And I'll have Shadow King as the 5th. Shadow King comes out on Friday, the day before Null. I'll be going super hard on that. I'm going to have videos out for that. We're going to get him unlocked super quick, build him up as fast as possible so that we could use him on Null. I do think he's going to be helpful, and he does have bleeds as well. And do remember, bleeds bypass the barrier. So although we don't have any barrier break on the extreme team, we don't need it. It's all about the bleed damage. It's all about the bleed damage. But this is concerning, right? Because, I mean, Null has just an absolute enormous amount of life. The percentage damage, the problem with percentage damage is that, I mean, as his health scales, the percentage damage kind of scales lock and step, so it really does cap it. So last week, he was at 400,000. The damage cap was 1 million. This week, he's at 800 million. Sorry, 400 million, now at 800 million. The damage cap is, I think, 2.4 million. So it feels like the damage cap did not grow at the same... the damage cap did not grow faster than his health grew. So I do have concerns about Astral. I think Astral is going to be just hard capped because of the speed mechanics and Null and the barrier and all that. So I have a little bit of concerns there, which is why I think we should really be preparing these bleed teams to get going. Anyway, It's going to be tough, guys. It's going to be tough to get these 225,000 points per knockout, plus 225,000 points per 100% of the damage done. I hope everyone gets great luck and can get this unlocked. I hope no one in your alliance leaves midweek, because then that basically adds like a whole other Null 25% damage you got to do to him overall, or I guess 50% or another knockout kind of thing. It's going to be tough. I think there's going to be a lot of alliances that should move to difficulty 5 based on the footage you saw, right? How it's like difficulty 4 is brain-numbingly stupid. They should be on difficulty 5. I think just structurally, there's going to be a couple of alliances who should be on difficulty 5, don't get the unlock, and get super frustrated. I hope this does not equate to mass alliance movements, mass quitting, stuff like that, because I do think this is going to be a feel-bad moment for a lot of people. What I will say is this is the psychopath in me talking, okay? I do like that I now have a goal of the amount of times I need to kill Null to move on. Not because I think that goal is fair, but because now I have an objective, right? It's not just, okay, our alliance went in, we killed Null once, so we're going to be getting these rewards no matter what. So, like, who cares about killing him more times? Leaderboard, our alliance can't do leaderboard anyway, right? Now that me and the boys know we got to kill Null, 7, 8 times, that's our goal. So now I know the boys are going to come together. We're going to talk about what our best team was. We're going to wait. We're going to theory craft together, and it's going to be sort of an event to try and unlock difficulty 5. What is Dark Dimension 5? To unlock difficulty 5. That kind of excites me. But the idea of failing, having to do difficulty 4 again, and wait until I can build up Omega Red, build up Adam Warlock. Ooh, that kind of, it makes me feel the way. But, guys, let me know how you feel in the comment section below. Do you think the scoring is fair for this? Let me know about the Crucible rules, too, that we talked about way earlier on in the video. And let me know if you have any sort of off-the-cuff teams that performed really well for you in Difficulty 3. I don't think the difference between Difficulty 3 and Difficulty 4 Null is going to be that crazy. I don't. So if you killed Null 10 times on Difficulty 3, I think you could probably expect to kill him 7, 8 times on Difficulty 4 without changing too much up. But, hey, I've been wrong many times in the past. We'll have to wait and see. If you like this video, please leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. But for now, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, have fun. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.